Alrighty, folks, our Week 14 NFL tier package picks are posted already on my premium page. We're coming off a solid, clean sweep in our NFL tier membership plays this past weekend, and if you think we can repeat, you may want to think about signing up for my NFL tier membership package on my premium page. And like I said, we're 3-0 in our last three plays in that package. And you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on the free videos and what I do on my premium page. Well, what I do here on the free videos, I'll handicap, the entire slate of games, or most of them in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my premium page is, I actually share with you which one of these free plays I actually like the best. Now, if you want to get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. Chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, guys, I'm hitting at 70% my last 10 extra daily picks, 2-0 in my last couple of crowd pleaser teasers, and finally, guys, I'm 6-3 in my last 9 college basketball tier membership plays on my premium page. And the good news is I have plays going off in all of those packages here today. Once again, the site's patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into some free content. We're going to start off with Florida Atlantic taking on the Illinois Fighting Illini, 6:30 p.m. East. FAU is -3, totals 148. And, there's really not much to nitpick when it comes to Florida Atlantic. But, they did have some problems defensively with these bigger schools this year. They allowed 86 points to Butler, 89 points to Texas A&M. And I'm just not sure that's going to fly against a team like Illinois. These guys have won all of their ball games except for that Marquette contest this year. And the Illini is also playing some exceptionally tough defense. They're holding their opponents to just 33% shooting from the field this year. And, yep, that is most definitely best in the country in that particular category. Now, Terry Shannon's leading the team in steals, also dropping a team-high 20 points a night. Meanwhile, Quincy Guerrier is leading the program right now in rebounds and blocks. And one final thing to add about this Illinois defensive effort, they've kind of been impossible to score against in the final 20 minutes. These guys allow fewer second-half points than any other school in Division I right now. Now, injury-wise, Nick Moretti's questionable for Illinois. Nick Boyd still out for the Owls. 2 out of FAU's last 3 ball games fell under the total. Unders against the likes of Liberty and Virginia Tech. Meanwhile, Illinois saw their last 2 straight stay under the total themselves. 5-2 to the under for the entire season. Give me Illinois +3, under 148. Next ball game, Villanova, Kansas State. That's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Villanova's -2.5, totals 141 and a hook. Now, I'm not sure Nova's going to be able to keep up with K-State offensively, especially away from home here. Nova's making just 41% of their field goals on offense. And when it comes to defensive play, they've had their struggles guarding the 3 ball. They're allowing nearly double-digit made 3-pointers a game. And they're going to face a Kansas State team who they average 83 points a game. These guys have been very good offensively in the second half. Tyler Perry, he averages over 17 points a game. Cam Carter right behind him with 16.5 points a night. And when it comes to defensive play, K-State is limiting their competition to just 42% shooting from the field. So we're looking at very good things on both ends of the court for Kansas State here. Now, total-wise, K-State did see they saw 3 out of their last 4 ball games get over the total. Overs against the likes of Oral Roberts, Central Arkansas, and the Miami Hurricanes. Meanwhile, 4 out of Villanova's last 7 got over the total themselves. Give me Kansas State plus 2.5, over 141 and a hook. All right, next game, Providence, Oklahoma. That's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Oklahoma is minus 5.5, totals 146. Now, the undefeated Sooners have beaten the likes of USC and Iowa this year, and a great defensive effort in both of those victories. As a matter of fact, the Sooners are holding their competition to just 38% shooting from the field. They're actually one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the country. Sam Godwin leads the roster in boards, tied for the team lead in blocks. When it comes to offensive production, it's actually Otiga Owe who makes 68% of his field goals. He leads the roster in scoring. The Sooners are currently averaging over 87 points a game, and they're facing a Providence team who actually suffered their only loss of the year to a Big 12 school. They fell to Kansas State a couple of weeks ago, and even though there's not a ton to nitpick when it comes to Providence, they did fail to cover this season against the likes of Kansas State, like I just mentioned, Lehigh, and Milwaukee. Now, total-wise, the Friars saw unders in all of their contests this season except for 2. Meanwhile, Oklahoma saw unders recently against the likes of Iowa and Mississippi Valley State. Give me Oklahoma minus 5.5, under 146. Next game, Wisconsin, Michigan State. That's another one, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Should be on our big screen behind me, but I actually don't remember seeing it. For some reason, not listed on our big screen. But once again, Wisconsin, Michigan State, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Michigan State's minus 6, totals 131.5. And as good as Sparty's been defensively this season, they may have to go to work without leading scorer Tyson Walker. He's questionable with a hip injury. He's responsible for nearly 21 points a game. Meanwhile, the Spartans' third leading scorer, Malik Hall, he's been listed as questionable as well, battling an illness of some sort. Now, even at full strength this year, the Spartans did suffer losses to the likes of Arizona, Duke, and James Madison. And when it comes to shooting the basketball, well, Sparty's like no threat making it from downtown. Michigan State's making just 26% of their long balls. And they're facing a Wisconsin club who's played very tough defensively, especially late in games. They're in the top 20 in fewest second half points allowed. They're also one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the country. They're in the top 5 in that particular category. Chucky Hepburn, he's the team leader in steals. Stephen Krause got the most rebounds and blocks. When it comes to the total, the Badgers' last 4 straight all fell under the number. Meanwhile, Sparty saw their last 6 straight stay under the total themselves. Give me Wisconsin plus 6, under 131.5. Next ball game, Georgia Tech taking on the Georgia Bulldogs, 7:30 Eastern tip-off. The Bulldogs are minus 5.5, totals 147. And even though the Bulldogs do have a couple of losses, those losses did come against quality programs. Georgia lost to the likes this year of Providence, Miami Hurricanes, and Oregon. And I'll tell you, those losses weren't for a complete lack of defense. The Bulldogs are currently limiting their opponents to just 40% shooting from the field. Now they're taking on a Georgia Tech team who doesn't shoot well themselves. They're actually 307th in offensive field goal percentage. And despite a couple of solid wins against good programs, the Yellow Jackets also failed to cover this year against the likes of UMass Lowell and Howard. Georgia Tech saw their last 4 straight stay under the total. Unders against the likes of Duke, Mississippi State, and Cincinnati. Meanwhile, Georgia went 4-2 to the under in their last 6. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs minus 5.5, under 147. All right, next contest should be a good one. Going to be a lot of eyes on this game. I'm talking about UNC taking on UConn, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Yukon Huskies are minus 5.5. Totals 152. And speaking of the total, the Huskies saw overs against the likes of Manhattan, Texas, and Stonehill. They're also a top 25 field goal shooting team. Meanwhile, North Carolina on the other side, they have little problems offensively themselves. When it comes to the number, 4 out of the Tar Heels' last 5 ball games got over the total themselves. Now, when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game's being featured as my college basketball tier package pick on my premium page. But as far as making a free pick is concerned, give me the over 152. And with that, folks, we are going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Indiana-Michigan game. Another one not on our big screen for whatever reason, but that is a 9 o'clock Eastern start time. Michigan's -7, totals 145. Now, the markets are reacting to the injury to Indiana's Xavier Johnson. He's questionable with a foot injury, although I don't know if folks realize this, but there's actually 2 other players on the Hoosiers team who've been more integral in their scoring. Khalil Ware, he's averaging over 17.5 points a night, and he makes 64% of his attempts from the field. Meanwhile, Malik Rayneau, he's making 61% of his field goals, and he ranks second on the roster in points. Now, Indiana is currently a top 25 field goal shooting team. Meanwhile, Michigan on the other side, they've been a bit lax on the defensive end of the court. These guys allow over 28 field goals a game. And when it comes to guarding the 3 ball, their opponents are making nearly 40% of their 3-pointers against them. Actually, one of the worst 3-point defending teams in the country. Now, more recently, the Wolverines have had a real tough time, getting the W. They actually lost 4 out of their last 5. And that includes a loss to Long Beach State, where they allowed nearly 100 points. Now, total-wise, no real surprise here. Michigan saw all of their games get over the number except for 2. Meanwhile, the Hoosiers saw overs against the likes of Harvard, Louisville, and Wright State. Give me Indiana +7 over 145. And with that, folks, now it is time for our quick pick recap. Give me Illinois +3 under 148. Kansas State +2.5 over 141 and a hook. Oklahoma -5.5 under 146. I'm 3-0 my last 3 NFL tier membership picks on my premium page. And the good news is our week 14 NFL tier package plays are posted already on that premium site. The link for that page is in my bio. Wisconsin +6 under 131.5. Georgia Bulldogs -5.5 under 147. Give me the over 152 in the UNC-UCONN game. With my next and final free pick, give me Indiana +7 over 145. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, guys, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman membership, it's a full access, all-inclusive package. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.